Hey, it's Hannah. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna go shopping together and I'm gonna share with you my best tips on how to find the best home decor. My absolute favorite thing to look for is these beautiful pots. They look like they're hand sculpted and they come in white or black, and I think these are really neutral. They look really great styled on a dining table, on a coffee table, or in a built-in. They just add a lot of organic texture to a space. What you want to avoid is these really brightly colored pots and vases. Sometimes you might find a nice amber looking pot like this one here, which is nice, but otherwise I'd really avoid them. In the summertime, the best selection for outdoor planters is definitely at Home Goods. They have the really large sizes, and a lot of times what makes them cheaper is that they're not made out of ceramic. They're made out of like a heavy duty plastic. So you'll want to definitely bring them inside in the summer. But also the ceramic plants are really beautiful. Ones that I like to avoid are these super modern three-legged planters. They just look kind of cheap. And I also try and avoid anything too brightly colored. If you go for something a little bit more neutral, it will give you more longevity, and you can use your flowers and your plants to give you that punch of color. I've never seen these before, but they were so cool. So these are actually lanterns with flameless candles in them, and they're battery operated, and they're also on a timer. So you know, a lot of times you're just having a good time, you're having a party outside, and then you forget to like turn these off. Well, don't worry, they'll go off because they're already on a timer, and they have quite a few different styles of these. They've got the black, they've got the wood, so I would definitely add these to my outdoor decor. One thing I always try and avoid is these little plants. Anything little with the plants in them just feels a little bit cheap, and especially if you even feel the leaves, they feel like they're kind of plasticky. If you're gonna get some type of greenery, I think that their stems are actually a lot nicer. They have more of a fabric feel to them, and they've got lots of different colors and styles. They've got florals, but they've also got like eucalyptus stems as well. And one thing that they always do a really good job of is all the wreaths, because the wreaths are often oversized, which makes them look more high-end. And when you put it on your door, it just looks more grand. So you want to think about filling up the space on your door so it just looks a lot more welcoming and inviting. And on the front door, I think a little punch of color can be cute too, depending on your style. People love to go to Home Goods for is for the little trinkets and the decor pieces. But I'm here to say, please avoid the really bright gold ones. Or if you're gonna get gold, just get a few soft touches, because what you want to go for is something more neutral. You want to think of blacks and neutrals and creams and stone, because you really want to have that longevity. The gold just ends up looking really brassy and a little bit cheap. I did notice that at the Home Goods store I went to, they had these brass kind of candles, but I just feel like these are a little bit fake. So if you're gonna get these, go to a thrift store and get the vintage kind. Also, I think it's safe to say that we can avoid all these little frames. They also just don't really give me that look, that, you know, that high-end look. If you're gonna do art prints or even family photos, keep it more neutral. Keep all the frames really similar and in the same color palette. I actually think that IKEA does a really good job of all their frames, and if you're going to do some type of a uniform gallery wall, get them from IKEA, or if you want to go something a little more mixed, get them from a vintage store. One thing you should definitely keep an eye out for is unique and interesting furniture pieces, especially the seasonal ones. So in the summertime, they always have something different that you wouldn't see at any department store. So I love this kind of like, you know, teardrop shaped chair. They've got a lot of interesting colors and just ideas and things that you won't find anywhere else. Every single space in your house needs to have some type of wood element to it. So a cutting board is a really great way to just create some type of wood element where you might not have it. So you can use it as a riser. You can also use it as a decor piece. They've got some really interesting ones depending on the tones of your home. I always think it's good to keep something a little bit more neutral. I did see this kind of live edge design, which I thought was really cool too. An easy and inexpensive way to update your home is just by using throw pillows. And the one thing about Home Goods throw pillows is I think they're a bit hit or miss. So, you know, I did find this checkered pattern, but I think you want to avoid anything that comes in the 2-pack, because anytime you're actually setting up your throw pillows on your couch or on your bed, you want to have visual interest. So try to avoid like the matchy look. Find some different types of throw pillows that are in the same color family and try and see how those look together. You can even check in the store. The same goes for the throw blankets. Now there were some really great neutrals and staples that I found. Throw blankets are great for layering on your sofa or on your bed, but you have to be careful because you want to use things that are just more neutral, right? I did see some of these block prints which are really popular right now. So this is like inspired by South Asian culture, which I thought was really cool, you know, being South Asian myself. But I don't really love a lot of the really bright colorful ones unless you're going to be using them like in a little girl's room. Is there anywhere else that has such a good selection of baskets? Like, I think not. These baskets are just, there's so many different colors and styles and shapes and sizes. So anytime I need a basket, I always run to the Home Goods store because you know you can find exactly what you're looking for. And baskets can be used not only for storing, you know, your kids' toys, but also plants and blankets. So they're just such a versatile way to store any type of anything, really. When I saw this table, my jaw dropped to the floor. So this is a marble top table and it was only $500. So you can really get some steals. There's a really great selection of dining table chairs too, and you can often find them in the pack of 4. So I love these with the fabric and the wood legs. They just look really high end, but you want to avoid the ones that are kind of like this, like cheap. They look like a cheap kind of faux leather with the metal rods. I think these really don't look that high end, but I really love the fabric ones instead, like on a kitchen island. They look great just with something more substance and weight, because that can really change the look of any space. And they've got lots of options. You've got tons of colors and the ones that swivel. So I really think that this is a great piece that you can get from Home Goods that you would spend a lot at like a store like Pottery Barn or Crate & Barrel. The one thing I always do is just walk around and look at all the different vignettes that they've set up. So I really noticed today that they had a lot of mixed wood. So they had light wood and they mixed it with the dark woods, which I think is becoming a bigger trend. So don't be afraid to try that in your home as well. Now the lamps can be a little bit hit or miss, so I think that when you're getting a lamp, just get something that's going to be a basic. I did not like any of these really interesting punchy colors or shapes. I think you want to go for a more classic clean line, you know, and you want to think of 2 symmetrical lamps on each side of your bedside table. I think that the wicker can be really nice also if you're going for a coastal vibe. Sometimes the furniture can really surprise you. I saw so many great side tables and little console tables, and I love the idea of pairing up 2 of these on your entryway to just make that statement. They can also be used as a media cabinet, like, you know, put your TV on top or mount it, and you've got all your storage underneath. If you're looking for a high quality rug, make sure you check out the rugs at Home Goods because they've got the large size rugs that are really affordable. And I just love that they're actually really unique, and it's not stuff that you're going to find everywhere else along the internet or in anyone else's home. And so make sure you rifle through them because you can find some really good plush ones, and you can make them fit into your decor, whether it's more rustic or more farmhouse or more transitional modern. You can get some really cool modern accent chairs as well. So these are like good armchairs that you could have in your living room. But the one thing I really think we should avoid buying from these stores is couches and sectionals, because you're not going to get the same warranty that you would if you bought it from a store. There's actually just not a really great return policy. So I think the armchairs and the end tables are great pieces of furniture, but I would not buy a full sofa because they are expensive and you want to have a warranty on it. One of the easiest ways to update your bathroom is just by swapping out the mirror, and they've got such a great selection of mirrors. And you know what? You can get a ton of mirrors there that are all like under $100. So they've got arch mirrors and square mirrors and just unique shapes that you won't find anywhere else. The one thing I always stay away from is art prints. So I think that you want to pick a good staple art print that looks vintage, that's unique, and really speaks to you. You want to stay away from these prints that are like 4 in a pack because they just look too matchy-matchy and they don't look like you really developed your design style yet. I also don't like the vintage style art prints that they have at these stores. Go to a vintage store and get one. Thanks for coming shopping with me. Let me know in the comments if you disagree or agree with some of my picks, and I'll see you next time for more home and DIY.